Oh, hey there. How's it going? You caught me at the power plant, looking around, paranoid, terrified, goose pimply. Business as usual, really. Let's see if we can get to deep storage back here. I believe this is one of our last currently active side quests in this area, and I wanted to try to find our dear friend Grant Lockwood before we move on to perhaps the Arboretum. So, that means I have to brave the alien monsters and terrifying monstrosities again. No thank you. Never mind. Let's go play something casual. Hi, Brenda. It's nice to see you there. Alright, headed down for deep storage. I'll trust the waypoint. Bad minute. You're gonna try to make me hit that explosive canister, aren't you? I knew exactly what he was going for. Alright. Remembering the button to crouch is a very important part of the day. Forgetting the button to crouch. Well, it happens more and more now. I think I might need some ginkgo biloba. Crispy. Alright. Nothing I can do about it now. Nothing I can do but make jokes about the dead people. Alright, so it wants us to go out the airlock to make it to deep storage. Okay. I think it must be somewhere near that hull breach we were. I'm not, but I'm flattered. Thank you. We were looking at a few sessions ago there. I'm sure we've already searched around here. I've managed to forget all of that too, but we've been through here before. Let's head out to deep storage. To the exterior? Well, that sounds dangerous. Hello. We're playing Prey today. Catching back up to our shenanigans on the Talos 1 space station. Happy Tuesday to all. It is tremendously nice to be in your company on a weekday for once. For the first time in ages. Ever since my job kicked into a different gear and has made things difficult and strange.
Microgravity detected.
So many of you jumping in the chat. I am so happy to see you. It's radioactive. Let's get out of here. Just try to avoid some of those cystoids. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so deep storage. 600 meters that way. It's not, insurmountable, but it sure isn't cheap in my fuel reserves. Okay. I don't know why I'm so stingy with my fuel reserves. They don't seem to have a limit. Hello. I'm being called out in my
Make it
chat.
to your office, Morgan. I guess I see where all that TranStar money goes.
Chief Ilyushin? You're alive!
Igre? You made it?
Chief Engineer Ilyushin.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh, it's a big reunion.
Morgan, is that-
Great.
No, that
I
is...
am January. Morgan Yu's personal operator.
Talk about loving the sound of your own voice.
So many people survived.
So, it's the three of us. 4 of us. Anyone else from the labs or psychotronics? Is that Morgan's workstation? And the fabricator?
Chief Ilyushin, please do not...
Morgan, come up here when you get a chance.
I don't know who it was that just detected me. Maybe it was that cystoid nest back there. A little bit creepy to be detected in the dead of space. There's also a human corpse 80 meters that way, and I am very hungry. So tempted. Let's see if we can find it. How am I today? I'm doing all right. I am stealing a bit of time off of work to catch up with some live stream things for later. I say live stream, but they're not live. That's a misnomer of sorts. Technopath! Ah! Alright, that must be where the corpse is. Let's just try to survive. Does the Huntress Boltcaster work in the dead of space? Nerf darts? Is that gonna work out? Yeah. I'm sure it is. Alright, there's the Technopath. I'm doing precious little damage to it. Let's try something else. Stun gun. Q-beam with no ammo. I don't know if any of these work tremendously well. Psi nullifying. It could be that an EMP charge works on a Technopath. We haven't really tried that. Let's go. Nope. Not really. That's what these tests are for. This is such a horrifying waste of ammo. Alright. Technopath in the dead of space. His loot slowly drifting away from me. In fact, it's not that slow. Come back to me, loot. Come back to me, pancreas. I miss you. I miss your warmth. So I don't remember if I ever finished. I got attacked and ambushed, and I don't think I finished my statement of okayness. I'm okay. I'm taking some time off of work, and that's great. That's all I was trying to say. Okay, that was just a piece of Technopath, not another Technopath, but there is... Okay. A couple of science operators come into play. So bad with my ammo usage. There's your friend. Alright. Medical corruptors down. Switch to something a little more precise. And then miss. Miss several times. Okay. So sorry. Not supposed to be flinging my corpse around this much. Where was that corpse we were so close to? There's a hatch down here I'm very curious about. I don't know if it will lead to a corpse, but hey, whatever it leads to. Yes. Can I help you? I've angered the Weaver. I'm being woven like a pair of pants. Oh, so many cystoids. Ah! They burn me so. Stop it with your cystoids. I'm gonna need some health items pretty quick. Let's say now. Let's say I need them now. Well, this is just a nightmare. Sweet, sweet bleenies. I would very much enjoy that. I'm so sorry I'm not catching up with the chat very well when I'm being attacked. There we go. Now I've got up. Hello. Beware of people with Russian accents in space. And as a Russian, I double that. Aw, are we harping on Russians so early in the morning? Just because they're in space? Is that why? Are the Earth-bound Russians more trustworthy, or... I need to know. Is it the space madness that makes them untrustworthy? It is so nice to see you all. Oh, thank you for catching up to my adventures in Thedas. You should absolutely go for another round yourself, if possible. Alright, health and suit repair items. Back to it. We have a suit repair kit. We can definitely do that. Let's go for it. 100% integrity. And some udon noodles. Well, that's not very health imbuing. I expected more from you, udon. Okay, this is such a shame in here, in this room particularly. Can't even seem to find the first Weaver. There he went.
Radiation poisoning detected. Seek medical attention.
I'm detecting that. I'm detecting that poisoning. Two of them so close. This makes this very strange. And they are much faster and more agile in the 0G than I am. Back, I say. Stop the cystoids. It's not stopping. Medical operator. Oh, science operator, it's you. And so, I'm fully out of shotgun ammo. What a shame. Alright, we're gonna have to find a fabricator. But what is it that's in this little alcove that's worth guarding? With so many weavers. Is that a weaver, like, being formed from another dimension? Curiosity leads me to touch it, leads me to poke it. No, I shouldn't. Alright, so what is the purpose of this place? Suppose I'd better grab a quick, I've forgotten the name of it, so I'm gonna call it Rad-X. Anti-rad. Well, that makes sense. Alright, so, is this where I came in? I'm going to assume so, due to the open maintenance hatch, yes, and bits of operator lying about. Good. Now we know where we started. The fact that we're alive is a miracle. Ah, look at where we are. Okay. So, is this like some sort of Weaver birthing chamber? Is that what makes this so special? And can I stop this from happening, right now? Not tomorrow. No, then it'll be too late. Another hatch up there. We're getting closer to our human corpse. Let's just check down this way real quick. So we'll probably have some Weaver bits I need to loot. Plasma. so many just like terrible traps back here. There's nothing of value and so many cystoids. Seems to be the theme of the room. A hatch over there. It might just be that this is like a central location to get you through the space station to a couple of exterior spaces. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure. And I must know the curiosity it burns inside of me. Oh, what's this room for? What's this one for? Tell me now. Alright, so this is the other hatch we saw. Let's see where this leads. Because it kind of seems to be headed towards the corpse, which I've now lost again. Tendrils of that, I'm assuming electronic device sure are scaring me. Something interesting glowing in there. Is that a weapon? Might be a Q-beam or something, I'm not sure. Okay, headed down into the radiation then. Q-beam. Ably spotted. Good job, Peter. Transcribe. Mariana.
I can't find an open airlock. I think there's something following
There's
me.
a bit of a maze in here, isn't it?
I keep hearing it. That doesn't make any sense. It's just in my head. Ay, Mateo.
Weaving? Is that
David,
the sound you're hearing?
I love you both. Mom, I'm sorry. I know you were just trying to protect me. I love you so much. Ay, Dios santo.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mariana. I'm very, very sorry. It makes me sad to hear people who are aware that they're about to die say that they're sorry to their loved ones. That's tragic. Pulls on the old heartstrings. Sorry to hear that, Mariana. So I don't know where the corpse went. We found the one corpse, but that was not the one marked. It was like 20 meters away at one point. There's so many different areas in space is the problem. So many different facets of space. Like you could go in any direction. The corpse could be behind us. It could be below us. There's so many options. Those also have a weird tendency of like when you get close to them, they seem to disappear. So it could in fact be Mariana who we were looking for. And that would be fine. We were able to rescue her sweet, sweet transcribe. That's all I care about. Man, this place is such a nightmare of navigation. Like, I have no idea where we are right now. Let me be perfectly honest with you. I've lost my way and my senses. Alright. Head back out that maintenance hatch. Yes, good. That was, in fact, the corpse we were looking for. Fantastic. I'm not seeing anything else of value in here, but that is strange to me. I'm sure I'm missing something. Just the one corpse for all that ammo? Okay. Not gonna feel guilty about it. I'm just gonna try to conserve the ammo. So, that was our little detour, heading back to deep storage. I should probably try harder to let our little detours not completely remove our stores of resources. Something to think about. Is this also a maintenance hatch? Finally catching on to the fact that they seem to be lighting these in red. But this is just another distraction that we don't have the resources for. Hooray! Headed inside. More corrupt operators. Yeah, definitely didn't have the resources for that. That's what I should just always be using on robotic characters. Both for ammo and for effectiveness purposes. Alright, quick look in here. Getting radiated. Good. I'm getting radiated in the morning light. Neuromods. You know, I should probably check those. I haven't... I kind of forgot that upgrading was a thing when we jumped back into this over the last... several weeks. So I probably have a couple of these to spend. 11 of them. Alright. What are our options here? Hacking 4. We've soaked a lot of points into hacking lately. I should probably back off a little. Suit modification 3. That'd be great. Dismantle. This would just make wrench attacks. I lost my voice there in the middle of it. Wrench attacks. More effective. That's always fun. Allows weapon upgrade kits to fully upgrade non-standard tech weapons. Alright, let's check security. Firearms 1, firearms 2. Toughness. Oh, that's why I'm dying so much. Okay. This has a sort of existential side effect to it, though, that's a little bit depressing to me. My natural lifespan will be increased by 25 years. Like, that doesn't have to do with the game. That's a long-reaching commitment. I don't know if I can handle... and then the second one increases it by a further 50 for a total of 75 years, and then again 75 years. Double it. Double down at the end. I can't live a life that long. I don't have enough novels to read. No. Movement speed. That sure would help. Alright, I'm gonna go for a little bit of that. I'm tempted by toughness, but we'll skirt around it for now. I'm thinking maybe recycling, or materials expert rather, so that we can get one of these. And next time we... Actually, you might not need... I thought you might need like a workbench or some item, but I think you can just upgrade those. Let me check. Yeah, so now we can use these on the Q-beam and the glue cannon. Maybe even the disruptor. I can't remember if that was originally one of them. So hooray, we'll be able to upgrade everything a little bit better. Now, apart from the Huntress Boltcaster, apparently, it's already at the pinnacle of effectiveness. No need to upgrade that. This is another area where I should look at potential upgrades. Though I think we did actually check these recently in a past session. Okay. Here I am distracted again. We found ourselves in another... deep storage. I swear to you, one day we will meet as friends. Tempted by Toughness is the name of your romance novel. Well, it sounds tremendously saucy. If I'm allowed to give an early review. Let's come back to this. I feel like I've had about enough floating in 0G for now, so let's stop exploring while floating in 0G, and I'm just gonna head to deep storage to get back on track. I'm glad you love Distracted Peter, because that's apparently the only guy who woke up this morning. Oh, what's that? Ooh, it's shiny. Ooh, let's get 100% completion in all the side quests. Right now. No, there's not time. We need... Almost back to deep storage. The Weavers tried to stop us, but us and our pants made it intact. A cystoid nest at the last minute. Oh dear God, the shame of it. I can't even see where it is. There it is. Alright. Well, I have no shotgun ammo, so you guys are just gonna have to play nice. Because I'm not dealing with this. Not gonna take any lip from you cystoids. Do they have lips? Is that... I don't want to get close enough to find out the answer to that question. But I am quite curious if they have lips. Anything of value? Ooh, a circus. Okay. Arboretum. That is a little strange to me. I was expecting deep storage to be its own hub. We have a couple of side quests in the Arboretum we need to take care of, so maybe we can grab some of those on the way. Actual progress distractions. Alright, first things first, I would love a fabricator.
Assuming it still works.
I've got the code to Alex's shaft. That'll be good. That's probably not the way to say it, but... Zachary's dead. Sorry to any fans of Zachary. I'm trying to get my bearings here. I know we've been through here before, but I forget the layout. Oh. Hi, Weaver. How are you? I don't have any shotgun ammo for you right now, but maybe soon. Maybe later, all right, buddy? So let me check. Deep storage is its own hub, right that way. It's just attached briefly to the Arboretum from the exterior entrance. So that's great. We can load right in there. Let me check how many of these are in Arboretum. Alex's arming key. Here, Alex out in his office. We have to go up the elevator for that. Need to be in Neuromod division for those. Investigate the lift. Whatever is preventing the elevator from working seems to be in the Arboretum elevator foyer. And a lover's initials carved in a tree. That was the other thing. I knew there were like 3 of them. So we could look for the lover's initials. Let me just mark a couple of these to see how close by they are. I do not want to yet go meet with Alex. That will start the main quest back up, so that should be doing it. 39 meters to the main lift. And I thought I saw the second one. It's very ghostly there. Maybe it's just deep storage it's pointing out. Huh. Check from up here. I was hoping it would point out the lover's tree. Hi. How are you, sir? Well, this would be a great time to have an active shotgun. Oh, let me tell you. Especially because it's so heavily upgraded and none of my other guns are. Well, okay. I'm scared. Recycler charge? Or just drop it and run? That didn't really work on the Weaver, but it got some of the cystoids out. Let's try Q-beam. Oh, mimics. Not the time. It's not the time, mimic. Alright, good old Q-beam. riddled with delicious tumors. So I guess we're on our own to find the tree. That's fair enough. I'm hoping it will be obvious. Wish I'd reloaded earlier. Oh, that would have been nice. You there. Is it that I'm just out? Oh, yeah. That goes very quickly. And I always forget. Alright. Maybe this? I'm sure that there's a fabricator somewhere in the Arboretum. It might just be on the other side here. But oh, I would love to take that Weaver out while it's wounded. And every second that passes, it's healing itself. No, it's almost fully healed. Okay, fine. That does absolutely nothing to a Weaver. Good to know. I don't think glue cannon would either, so I'm just gonna look for that fabricator. Alright, back out here. Around the fountain. Hide from the nasties. There you go. And... I would expect that to open. Okay. Now, oh, you son of a... I see how it is. We're just taunting. No fabricator. I was so hopeful. I seem to remember there being a recycler
Morgan? Dr. Ikwe,
down there, perhaps.
are you approaching the crew facilities? If so, this is a sentimental request, but my collection, the gallery of photos the others used to laugh at. Each picture is a decryption key to a set of neural data, connectomes, the guests who came to the station. Among them, Leitner, the pianist, is dead now. We can't let those skills be lost. It's all that's left of them. Please, Morgan, if you can, I would be grateful. I'm sending you an audio file that will open this safe in my room. You can play it with your transcribe.
Oh, it's lovely. I would be happy to try to restore his piano skills to you. Is that what we're going for? Alright. Just waiting for him to do something. But nothing's looking good. There's the recycler. And a fabricator. Lovely. Alright, we can get our ammo. Quick check for mimics. Alright. Stop exploding. You stop it. I still live here. No! Not the oxygen tanks. Oh, that's not a good sound. Okay. Yes, please. Oh, that feels nice. And then also, yes, please. Let's get one more of those. Ah, okay. What else have I not built that I should build? I don't think I have any, like, quest items I need to make at the moment, like the propulsion system. We're doing fine on neuromods, we got enough suit repair. I'm thinking maybe just one more round of shells ought to do it. Until we find more delicious crafting recipes. Alright, now let's recycle. Ding 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 ding. It's my favorite part of the day. Okay, now hopefully we can take these weavers out, and we know where the fabricator is to come grab more ammo if necessary. However, I'm wondering... It seems like when you go out of areas, there is a chance that enemies can respawn. I don't know if it's related to quest progression, and the enemies respawn regardless when you hit certain objectives. But I would love to be able to, like, clear all the side quests out of here, including finding the initials on the tree, if it's going to keep respawning guys every time I leave. That is such an unpleasant sound. Just popping little cystoids out of your... I don't even know what. Elbow, is it? Definitely no way around there. I'd love to just sneaky. Oh, and I haven't mentioned how much I love to sneaky. Alright. Stay down. So, main lift is down there. We did get that activated, even though it's a new quest. Let me see where that's based. Crew quarters, so I think we can unequip it for now. I don't want to get to deep storage, but since we're already in the Arboretum, I would love to find this and find my way down to that lift. I'm guessing we just have to look for the tree. I will get my flashlight on. Right there. Your initials are weird, sure, but I found them. Hit me with an icy blast. Why are you hiding in the bushes, you coward?
Dinner is served in the...
There's so many sounds I'm so uncomfortable with. You there. Get back within shotgun range. I don't want to have to tell you again. Jeez. It's like an absolute lake of cystoids. What a shame. He is very evasive in the forest. Ah, I see initials. If we have time to not be killed. Hi, I found it. Where was the... What was the... Let's refresh my terrible memory then. Find the tree, alright? Crew member named Lawrence Baxter left a gift for his lover under rocks near a tree. Alright, we're looking for rocks. Rock. Yay. Glad we upgraded that leverage, as it turns out. Storage room A2 keycard. Use the keycard to open storage closet, also in the Arboretum, if you say so. Do I need to equip it? Okay. I'll just look for a locked door then. Locked door number A2, one presumes. Voltaic Phantom, what is going on out here? It's just a huge reunion of terrible beasties. It's so weird to me. I never get used to the fact that when you're trying to aim at a weaver, oh, I'm sorry, I'm seeing the question. What's your favorite podcast? I am in. Redeemed for a friend. Oh, hello, friend. That is a very good question. I'm so sorry. I'm getting distracted on all manner of things. Let me catch up with the chat here. Which of the podcasts Peter's in is his favorite? And also that I would totally spill the beans to the others. Oh no, I gotta figure out what's going on with the beans. You have a ton of points to waste on highlighting your messages. Oh yes! Tempted to bring back the only highlighted messages thing. Sir, did you shoot my monkey out of the cannons? Man, you have given me a lot. Where have I been looking? I'm so sorry. What an inattentive host. Hi, I see them now. So, which podcast am I in is my favorite? That is an incredibly difficult question, as I am such a fan of so many of the things I've been allowed to contribute to. Let's put it that way. Obviously, it's been a huge thrill in recent times here to work with our friend Jeff on the Dark Dice side of things. That's been pretty neat. Inside of my spirit. And, yeah, I might have to go there for the current crown holder, but it changes on a daily basis. Oh, that crown is always being swiped. There's our recycler charge materials. I completely neglected them earlier. Also, apparently a bit of a lean in the floor to take them all the way over to that corner. I have to get a level out. So, I killed the Weaver. We are looking for a locked door this way, presumably. So much whispering. So much whispering is happening right now. I don't know if it's down a level. It could be, as could the main lift there. Storage area AR1, okay. It should look just like that, but with a 2 on it. Electric junction. It's not the time. I think there's still a Weaver over here that I keep running past. Like a filthy coward. Like a coward who is unbathed. Get out of here, mimic. Get out of here, cystoid. Turret. I'm gonna hope that's on my side. Oh, Weaver. Let's see if we can pop one of those around the vent here. Eee. Nope. Sure can't. I'll just run past it. That'll be fine. Alright, Talos 1 lobby. I'm not sure why that's marked. It seems to be the lift interference. But why would it be taking me into the lobby? I can repair.
Log submitted.
Okay, we have a vent back there. Assuming we've already been through here, but let's take a look for curiosity's sake. Tried to say that all at once. Curiosoc. There's the voltaic vent. Okay. Don't really want to step on the catwalk. Do my little turn while he's in contact. try to just slip on past here. Not seeing anything we need to grab. I had better go on a quick health restoration spree. Let's try this. I used to wish we weren't alone in the universe. Are those leftover memories from his human side? I can finally move this. Eh. Or is that the actual, alien saying that? The Typhon consciousness, as 'twere. And the alien's like, I hate having to deal with all these humans. I used to wish we weren't alone in the universe, but now that I've met these humans... Thank you for the shells, Karen. I appreciate that. It's really my most needed item right now, so thank you. Alright, we finally got Karen taken care of there. In a sense. I mean, we looted her corpse, is what I mean. I like to tell myself that sort of honors their memory in some way, but it doesn't. I'm just looting corpse. Keep your head ducked very, very low in this area. This is no time for sneaking peeks. I don't think we really have to go past him. I'm just gonna race this way. And get stuck, yeah. Alright, you enjoy your day, Voltaic Phantom. So, I once again want to grab the... shocked. Grab the AR2 door first, then maybe we can go down. Doesn't seem to be back here. Check up here. Seems to be an operator. Possibly non-corrupted. I do still think there's a Weaver over here that I have not killed. And yet, I see no Weaver. I didn't think there was anything worse than seeing a Weaver, but I was wrong. I can probably hack this now. The first time we passed by, I don't think I had it unlocked yet. Why? Out of place box? Are you serious, out of place box? Yikes. Wish you could have seen my face for that one. Oh, if I had had my camera plugged in. Okay, tons of fertilizer. Julian stopped by to get some fertilizer, but you were out. FYI, reviewed your lab notes. Plants pose no health risk. You should be... Get out of here! I mean, good to go. In the Arboretum. Cordially, Hans. Oh, thank you, Hans. That was very nice. That was a very informational update you have made. Thank you. It's good. Very good. These are some lovely paving stones. I want to take some. Do we have the inventory space? No? Oh, okay. Yes. Can I help you, sir? Probably don't need to fully blast him. There we go. Just a gentle blasting will do. Where did your thing go? Aw, no tumors for me. Oh well. So usually there's a big nasty thing in here. It seems clear at the moment. Glad that didn't respawn. Not seeing any locked doors, so I think we can safely say it's not on this side.
Hello, are you here for an appointment?
We will look around that side and then take the lift up if need be. Also, I guess I should quickly verify it's not at the base of these stairs here. Aha! Is that the one? A2, perfect. Oh, it was trapped. Jeez. I should have
Good evening,
checked.
Talos. We'd like to remind you that company policy requires you to log any voluntary extension
There it
of your
is.
work
That's
hours
what I should
with
have
the
checked
station
right there.
counselor. We know
Ouch.
the projects aboard Talos 1 are exciting, but even the brightest minds need adequate rest.
Lawrence. No. Lawrence, don't make me do this. I love you. Ah. I'll just collect the agave plant clippings first. I'll procrastinate with the plant clippings. Lawrence, please, come around. I don't want to do this. Okay, I kind of did, but as it was happening, I really had fun. I did. Inventory is full. What are you doing back here? Nobody told you you could come to this party. Like, I know I've got the difficulty down fairly significantly. I thought I was like 2 levels lower from what we started at. And it still takes like 5 solid shotgun shells that close to kill a single voltaic phantom. I was clearly not prepared for space. Okay, I'm having inventory issues now. See what I can take that doesn't require a slot. Come on. Just want to peek back here.
Logging self-diagnostic. List preparing.
Oh, now you're holding it? Now you're holding it. Okay. Get out of here with that. I'm sorry. I broke your lamp. And your Methuselah apples. Alright, that's about everything we can pick up. We'll have to head back by the recycler there on the other side. This should have been the Voltaic Phantom, so maybe we can go down here now. Just double check where this leads to. Crew quarters, perfect. So we can head there to get Dio Igue's next side quest. So, that was the storage room. That should fully resolve the lover's quest. Let us now look into this lift.
Hello, good to see you again, Dr. Yu.
It does appear that I have to travel to get to it, which confuses me greatly. The fact that there's a window into that room confuses me even more. Does this lead over there eventually? Check it one more time. We'll waste 5 more shots on another Voltaic Phantom, but first, I gotta hit up that recycler, or this isn't gonna be fun.
Hello, nice to
Was
see you.
it over here? Alright. What else can I sacrifice in terms of space? Any very low food items can probably go. I can't give up a pomegranate, though. That's delicious. I don't have any duplicate weapons. Should be good there. Alright. lovely. I know I'll regret it if I don't. And back up. So I just want to double check the parameters of this one, make sure I'm not misassuming. I'm going to completely get rid of that deep storage one for just a second. Because it's like, this would make sense if it's go to the Talos 1 lobby. The waypoint it's giving us absolutely would make sense, but investigate the lift in the Arboretum from the Arboretum elevator foyer. It does not sound like I should go to the Talos 1 lobby. But then where in the bally hell shall I go, is my question. Alright, let's try to take out that other phantom. Back on task. Never gonna remember that that's still zapping. Love to get a sneak shot in on him. Oh, that'd be great. Okay, calm down, floor. And this does appear to lead back into this room. Alright, that looks like we probably want to keep it sealed. Good. So here's the other side of that. It's not the window I thought it was. Interesting. Do we have anything of value back here? Or did I already pick it up in a past session? I always love this too, that it's like under the water. It looks like a pond from above, but it's not a pond and it's not a real waterfall. It's just a complete illusion. Much like the rest of the game. There's the window I was thinking of. Okay. So this doesn't seem to be, let's call it the Arboretum elevator foyer. I would call... Let me get out here. I would call this all the way around here. Where Alex gave us the code for it, the Arboretum elevator. Like, this is what I would consider what they're pointing out. And I'm not sure what I would consider the foyer to be, besides maybe this little area here. So I think I can get to his office. I do want to save that for just a bit. I guess we'll try going to the lobby. That's where the waypoint's leading us, so... Here we go. Donuts. Oh, still got me. Alright, back to shotgun. I guess I'm sure? I mean, I don't know how to answer that question. I am very not sure, but... Oh, thank you so much for the subscription there. That is incredibly kind of you. It is so nice to be out here adventuring with you guys. We've just hit the hour mark, but I've got nowhere to be. Oh.
Morgan.
Technopath?
That Typhon is an unknown type. From what I can tell, it's the source of the problem with the lift. The Phantom you unleashed in Psychotronics had similar disruptive abilities, only this one seems more powerful. Scanning it would tell you more.
Oh yeah, I think it's more powerful, alright. You can curve your bullets. I can't do that. 2 more good shots to his face ought to do it.
Nice work. The lift is responding again.
Okay, medical operator.
Rat Typhon
That
hijacked
hurts
the
my
hardware,
feelings.
even the software running the system, all the way down to the machine code, reprogramming it on the fly.
Really?
Fascinating.
What are you made out
And
of?
alarming. I can patch up the code. You should be fine. Take
Do you
the
have
lift if
connections
you
in
need to move quickly
Wakanda?
between
What's
the
happening?
3 main decks on Talos 1. It has a stop in the lobby and down in life support.
Scan shows no sign of life.
What are you made? I thought I'd killed you finally. You stay down. Silly medical operator. Oh, we got a ganglion. My favorite. I always find it quite dangly. That's how I remember it. Okay, let's drink. Yummy. Oh yeah, 1 health point at a time. This is thrilling. I remember these early days before I changed the difficulty setting down. Ha! How naive I was. Alright, so I'm not seeing a waypoint. However, the technopath is dead. Is that all they needed? I think that's all she was saying. And this is interesting. It's almost as if the elevator itself is a hub world that has different levels for the Arboretum, the Neuromod division, etc. So it does make sense that you would have to transfer into the Talos 1 lobby for that. I'm not quite sure why they're labeled it the Talos 1 lobby. Anyone I failed to loot? I thought there was another operator somewhere. Where did you go? Well, it's not very important, but, Alright, let's see what our objective says. Our objective is gone, so huzzah! We must have done it. So I can get back to our original progress path here. The disgruntled employee was who we were originally going after. We also could go down into crew quarters and retrieve these, lovely piano brain bits? I don't know what to call them. The piano brain bits. Crew quarters. We could look for Nicole as well while we're down there. So yeah, I'm thinking let's try this. Let's get Gustav Leitner. Such a pleasure to see you, Gustav. And we get the business ring, where we will look for Nicole.
Mr. Tucker from HR would like to remind you that if your personal data has changed since the previous pay cycle, please contact him immediately. Mr.
My personal data has definitely changed. So we'll jump back into the Arboretum, take these out, and then hooray. I see the question in the chat there. Have you ever played To the Moon? Seems like a game you'd enjoy. Is that, you'll have to remind me, Lighthouse? Sort of top-down pixel art, absolutely gorgeous, heartbreaking, magnificent in every way. Is that the one? Mm-hmm. Oh, I've played To the Moon. And cried and cried. I loved it. Alright, got a couple of corrupted guys in there. I don't think we ever found a code for this. Yeah. Shh. Really? There, good. It's just showing me the other guy's health bar. Oh, you got a little protective window. I see. I see. Good. Alright. So we never found a key code, but we now can hack it. We can hack it. Oh, yes we can. Hacker, no hacking! Yummy. Oh, I got an achievement for hacking, too. You've hacked at least 20 hackable objects on and around Talos 1. I'm gonna stop saying hack now. It's becoming weird. It's lost all meaning to me. Veggie blend? I mean, yeah, I'll take a veggie blend. Yum. Alright, and the West stood tall. Did it? Was it just because of the hats? Is that all? In 1964, President Kennedy, shockingly alive and more handsome than you remember him, turned his back on American interventionism. But what if America had stood up for its allies in Vietnam? Would communism still reign in the East? Would the Iron Curtain have fallen? Renowned political commentator Lance B. Jenkins, what a cute name, weaves a gripping, I don't like weaving, alternate account of the days following the Gulf of Tonkin incident and what might have been if America had gone to war in 1964. If only we had Captain Carter. Jenkins' historical imagination is meticulous, majestic, poignant, 10 out of 10. I would give it more, but it's only out of 10. Okay. I mean, that sounds pretty riveting. I'm gonna have to get that from my local library. Yay, I can search the crew. Nicole Haig. Where is she? Is this voice activated? It's not. It's not at all. Alright, Will Mitchell. That's the cook. Dear cook, though I doubt his name is Will Mitchell. He's just using it. I don't see a Nicole in crew quarters. Where has she wandered off to? The power plant? Is it? Nope. Not the power plant. She better not be in the guts. Penny Tennyson is on the bridge, if you are curious. Bridge-based Penny Tennyson at the moment. I am not seeing Miss Haig. Curious. All right, we'll search every single one of them then. That's fine. That's fine and fair. Oh, she suffered some significant trauma. Had to take her down to the center. See? Why did I get all weird with it? Okay. I'm starting to think she doesn't exist. You have no wife. There. Atmosphere engineer. It says she is in crew quarters. No life signs. That's too bad. Alright, we come back up to mark someone else off next time. I think we have to just go down here. Easy peasy. This is so much more fun to play on the Series S here. Now that the loading times are significantly improved. I'm sure you could get in everywhere with that sleek voice of yours, Peter. Ah, you'd think so, but every restricted area I've ever tried to bard seduce my way into has remained restricted to me. I am 0 for 2. Alright, Nicole is way up there. Sorry about that. Just a regular phantom. That might not be impossible. However, it's so little shotgun ammo. I can't fathom how I could be doing more damage with this shotgun to conserve ammo. So the Gustav Leitner memories are over there, about 27 meters. This is not bad. This is not a bad amount of meters. No. Please leave me alone while I'm recycling. That's my one wish. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Jazz. It's a dangerous business. It sounds like the opening to a hell of a noir novel. Jazz. It's a dangerous business. And I ought to know, see? I wasn't expecting it. As you can tell from my panicked squeals. I was fully not expecting it. You there. 2 mimics in the yellow tulip. This will not do. I've missed the yellow tulip. Shut up, chair. I've had enough of you, chair. Perfectly framed his body with my first 2 shots. I was like, there he is. For anyone curious. I loved this whole sequence. This was such a cool little song and everything. Can I still play it? Yeah. Yeah! I love this. Just a taste. Alright, she seems to be above the theater. Do I need to take one of these, perhaps? Let's try. Hi. Hi, etheric phantom. You have low health, so I'm just gonna... Oh, I thought for a second there you turned into Patricia. That would have been quite the trick. Alright, going up. Though this is now very close and on the same level. I'll be right back. Saw all those ghostly doors loading in as I looked back. Curious. Sneaky, sneaky. Mimics, where are you? Oh, do I need to... Yeah, okay. I need to... Yeah, okay. There. If someone had been sleeping, I was ready to blow them away. Good for you. Nope, I didn't want the pistol itself. Now that's wasteful. I just want the ammo. Thank you. Alright, for briefcase. Whoever sleeps in here has quite the arsenal. I'm sorry if I don't know them well enough to make a comment like that, but... The Orit. A highlighted excerpt from the Song of Deborah in the sacred texts of Beta Israel. Judges 5:26. Her hand she put to the tent peg. Ouch, she said, for the tent peg was hot from the sun. And her right hand to the workman's hammer. Eee, he said, that's my hammer. And with the hammer she smote Sisera. She smote through his head, yea, she pierced and struck through his temples. I like it. I wish that police reports were made in that sort of parlance. Yea, though she struck him through the temples, and the cause of death was blood loss. Good day. Survivor's account of the evacuation. Day 3. We may have read this already, but We had driven far enough that our fuel ran out. More jets flew over, headed toward the city. Sorry, city. One circled back and made several passes over us, but did not shoot. The guns were jammed. That night in the desert, we sat by the empty truck and listened to the booming of artillery. Almost said blooming of artillery, which makes it more poetic, but less sense. Flashes of bombs and lightning covered the horizon. In the morning, our city was lost in what appeared to be shimmering heat waves, but was in fact gamma radiation from the Hulk's nipples. High overhead, there were brilliant flashes of light. Some said it was an atomic bomb. Others said it was just the Hulk's nipples still. And others said it was God's wrath. Today, I know it was just an accident. Scientists thought that they knew everything, but they did not. In their hubris, they made so many mistakes. There were so many people lost that day, so many that I can barely comprehend it. But it was Eliza that hurt my heart. I know she was just a dog, and I am ashamed of my feelings, but she did not make this world we live in. But she did not make this world we live in. She was mine to protect, and I failed. Sometimes you start reading a book and then you get halfway through and it turns out a dog dies, and you didn't know that when you started reading it, and... well... ouchies. So zappy. Don't like it. But I kinda do. That was close. Weapon kit fabrication. Sure. Oh, it's Sarah's room. That's why it's so well stocked. She was like the security expert. I know you probably have your hands full right now, but we need to send a security detail to detain Dmitri Bowser. He's been stealing the princess again. He witnessed the incident, and he's pretty shaken. We're just not sure how stable he is at the moment. Make an assessment and hold his cheeks indefinitely if necessary. The upper ones, use discretion. That doesn't... Okay. I was thinking maybe that would scroll the page, but yeah, that was foolish. Something's on the station. Ma'am, you know I went to the doctor about sleep and all that. He told me not to. I got pills, but still been seeing things. After game night, I was cleaning up, and a chair moved by itself. I'm not crazy, like you know who. I'm sending this because just after the alert, I heard something in the vent over security. I thought I saw something black up there. We need to check this out, because I'm starting to think that there's a whale. Wait, an octopus. There's something on the station that we don't know about. Sarah, I need your help tracking down a missing keycard. This should be one of your highest priorities. It's labeled EP-101. Why would that be a high priority for Alex? It's become a high priority for me. Let me know as soon as you find anything. EP-101. What would that even be in terms of known areas of the station? Is there anything that would have the initials EP? Alright, go to the bottom, just in case. Good. Please add Michaela Illusion to the watch list. While she's currently performing her duties, her condition makes for a potential security risk, and we may need leverage. Her access should be restricted to work and crew facilities. Please don't let her anywhere near the labs. Also, flag any communications between her and Dr. Galagos out of Psychotronics. Medical is beginning to suspect she has white noise, so the fact that she falsified her records may be enough. Normally I'd advocate neuromod removal, but her condition prevents this. Keep me apprised. I trust Michaela Illusion with my life. as I have saved hers. So that's how that works. Maybe that's all part of a grand scheme. So I'm still trying to get to Gustav Leitner's. Without being attacked by mimics, if at all possible. This would be nice. If it's possible to be attacked by mimics, I would like to end the game now. Alright, seemingly clear. Might be in the other room there. And I'm sure we've already looked through here. This looks like the spot. There must be a button somewhere. Maybe I just paddle it? There's Dio and Gustav, dear friends. So how would I open this? Sorry about your lamp, Gustav. And your moon rock. I thought maybe it was related, but it's not. I can't just interact with it. Let me check the objective. Maybe it tells me. Look for rocks at the base of the poster. Dr. Igwe asked me to retrieve a connectomy related to the late Gustav Leitner, a famed pianist who had his brain scanned at Transtar. Igwe gave me an audio sample, that was it. A concerto snippet that will open a safe in his cabin when played. Thanks, Objective. Oh, you really came through for me there. Not that one. I don't even know if these are playable. Ah, there we go. Audio logs. I see it. Aha. Leitner music sample. That's such a cool lock. I love it. Thank you, Gustav. Alright, a little something for Igwe there.
The lock was keyed to the first concerto Leitner played. It was the first time Maya heard him, and we were both. I felt small in the light of his skill. I can play it now too, thanks to a neuromod, but only in my head.
You used a guest neuromod.
I copied their neuroscans and hid the data on my transcribe. Fabricated my own mods. I'm not proud of the act.
That's genius.
Now, I'm glad I did.
Alright, now we should be able to go up to try to find Nicole 40 meters that way. Let's try it. In the executive suites, Nicole, you're moving up in the world. Technopath, it's, well, it's not nice to see you, but it is, I guess, pleasant. I could go for pleasant. I could work my way down to pleasant. I don't trust you, leather chair. That lock is pretty cool, isn't it? Oh man, I love that lock. That lock makes so many people happy. Is this my room? I always get confused. Yeah, Morgan Hughes suite. That's where the game first started. Oh, hello. It's Nicole! Good to see you, Nicole. I'll take that. Thank you. Alright, so I'm really sorry. I have some news about your wife. And how do I say this? Well, I blew her to hell, and... Does that give you any comfort? Or... Rock stars and their tantrums. Constant tantruming. I know, it's hard to tour. You have very little sleep and everyone's expecting a lot of you, but still, the lamp did nothing. Didn't deserve this. Alright, so there's our crew quarters objectives. Let me just give a quick look in here, make sure there's nothing hiding on me. I don't think so. I really should... get on that cook. I'm tired of that guy running around, giving me grief. And by get on him, let me clarify. I perhaps should have... I mean kill. I don't... Return the wedding wing to Kevin Haig in the cargo bay. I've lost the ability to speak properly. I don't think we have anything else in the crew quarters. That's great. I think we should be able to maybe head... Oh, I don't know where to head next. We could go up and hear out Alex while we're in the Arboretum. It seems like kind of a shame to miss it. I just don't want that to push the game too much further. Like if we haven't completed necessary side quests. Don't. Just don't clarify. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay. I could probably swing by the fabricator and get myself some more shells while I'm here. Shotgun has kept us shockingly alive, so happy to soak some more resources into it. So we could talk to Alex real quick. I don't know if it would push us too far, but we can make a save beforehand, just in case. And then while we're here, get it out of the way. So, I'm gonna activate that. Igwe has made it back to the lobby. He should be there with Illusion and January now in my office, so I'll just pick that up again in a bit. Should be good. Let's make a nice save after we... Oh, there's a nightmare. Okay. I'm horrified. I don't even know if it's chasing me. I'm just going to keep running. There it is. Oh, it's always chasing me. It gets so close so quickly. Alright, headed that way, so I'll duck the other. Just need to make it to this recycler. It's right behind me! Oh no! That is chilling to hear. Quickly, quickly. Quickly now. Yep, quickly. Quickly. Quicker. That's the way. Yummy. Okay, maybe he hasn't found me down here. Maybe I've evaded. So I'll wait for another, 40 seconds or so. That's fine. No, we'll go. We'll be brave. Just gotta get to that other elevator on the far side. Well, I also need to put in a code, so I'll need to make sure the nightmare isn't too close. Kinda seems like he never made it back onto this side of things. Which makes me not want to go down this little path. Do you want to maybe come this way so that I can use that elevator that you're standing in? Would that work for you? this point, we are just going to run him out of his 50 seconds. I thought we could slip past him if he was chasing us this way, but probably not worth the grief. I'm inside the luggage cart. That was so smooth. I didn't even intend for this to happen, but now I did.
Good evening, Talos. Dr. Hadley Dalton will deliver a supplemental seminar on neural connectomes in the lobby training center later this week. Sounds exciting.
Connectomes.
Space is limited,
I
so reserve
misspoke.
your seat by emailing Dr. Dalton.
Okay, thanks, disembodied voice. I think I might be hallucinating. Just gonna let that nightmare clear, and then we'll save it here real quick. Bam. Alright. Proper save. I can probably take over slot number 3 here. Actually, let me just delete slot number 3 and save over this one. There. Less confusing. Now let's see what Alex has to say for himself. After so many months of me skulking about in the Talos 1 exterior. 4542. Alright. We can always come back if this pushes us too far. I don't know why I have that impression, but here we go. Are any of you benches real? He appears to be having some electrical trouble. And he's also filming me. Oh, you sneaky. Ah, get it. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I haven't consented. I didn't sign the forms. I probably did before I remembered it. Problem with memory loss is you signed all the forms. Just don't think you did. Okay. Alex, are you gonna surprise me? I'm scared.
Morgan, I won't be joining you. Don't worry, there's no
figured as
trick.
much.
Just a gift from your big brother. It's the truth, like I promised. Took me a while to dig it up. Someone wanted to hide it from you. My computer, another video. Give it a look and we'll talk. I'm
If you're
sending you
about
the
to
password,
rickroll me, I'm...
assuming you haven't hacked your way in yet.
I've only been in here for like 3 seconds, but yeah. Okay, too far, too fast. The third excerpt from Commercialization of the Space Program by J.V. Edwards. He's a doctor, but we don't really make a big deal out of it. The Reagan era signaled the end of government's strong support for the space race. Space now belonged to only the interested few, the bald, the brave, those who could afford it. Historians argued that had Reagan pushed for a military justification, and with the right marketing, then perhaps the space program seemed... Ooh, I skipped one. Then perhaps the space program might have survived. However, without a significant threat to the U.S., there seemed little incentive. Our only other competitor, the Soviet Union, had already showed the danger of reaching too far too fast. We've definitely read that before, but I hope you enjoyed my dramatic retelling. He's been hoarding a lot of neuromods to himself. Greedy boy. I shudder to think what this video on his laptop is going to be. I'm scared. What if it's like... him singing? Oh. The TranStar Corporation commissioned several high-profile artists to create works exclusively for Talos 1. Notice the Banksy, the orbital research and development facility that has brought us the Neuromod and many other technological wonders. Renowned Belgian sculptor Frederick Smart sculpted the work Smoke Signals, which forms the centerpiece of the employee dining hall. The installation artist, simply known as Jesse, constructed the chain of marbled glass panels which soar gracefully overhead in the Talos 1 lobby. I did like those panels. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Your mom's all done with her surgery. She's in recovery now. Doc said everything went great. I'm so glad. And good for you for being there for it. Oh, you champion, son. All right, where was I? Former street artist Patrick O., or is it Patrick O., designed a series of exclusive posters for TranStar featuring impressions of orbit, eclipse, and other celestial themes in his signature geometric style. He also developed the Neuromod promotional image featuring the likeness of actor Daisy Prince, who you might recognize from such films as... Oh, I don't have any ready. TranStar President Alex Yu commented, "Art inspires and fires our creativity. Get out. Makes us look beyond our present circumstances to what might be possible." Okay, I really don't want to watch that video. I want to do anything that will allow me to not watch this video. Excerpt from an anthology of tongue poetry on the Stork Tower. And this is where I can no longer read the text. I'm not intelligent enough, it seems. I'm going to need to soak some points into that. I like this little balcony. Can I live here now if he's not currently in residence? Peeping. How dare he? Peeping at the moon? Is this where he's gone? You can't hide from me on the moon, Alice. Alex? I'm gonna find you, Alice. What did she do? Okay, lovely little terrace you've got here. That's not the stairs. I was really fully committed to the idea of that being the stairs there. Wow, okay. We'll go to the proper stairs. Might get some caution tape if I were you, if you're taking suggestions. Alright, that should be back around to the front there. No need for it. Well, cover your eyes. It's about to get real weird in here. We're about to watch Alex Yu's video. After we check out this secret back hatch. Huh. He's been playing with magnets. No wonder all my data was erased. I might be able to hack that. We might also be able to find the key... what's the word? The code. There it is, on his computer. Let's check there first, and then we'll come back and hack it. Nice password. Okay. Utilities. There's the movie, I guess. Oh, EP 101. That was the thing he was looking for. Rooftop bridge controls. Is that why there wasn't any caution tape? Interesting. Where does this lead? It takes a while to extend. It's fine. Oh, I'm glad to hear Dune is good. That is very exciting news. Okay, so that will play the video. Let me just check if he has a code here in one of his emails first. Ooh, lovely. Missing keycard. Alex found it, Neuromod division, on top of the computer cabinet. I'd say someone was trying to hide it, along with what looks like a bug-out bag. Should I be concerned about anything? It's still there, by the way. It's the other side of the message we read earlier. Rogue Operator. Dr. Yu. I spoke to Lorenzo Calvino and got no response, so bringing the matter to you, there is evidence of an unlicensed operator aboard Talos 1. If so, we might be risking another TranStar North incident. I want to ensure the station's safety and make sure IT protocols are enforced. Chief Show, I doubt that accident has any relevance to what you're describing here. If Lorenzo says an investigation is unnecessary, I believe him. Doubting Alex. Dr. Yu, an operator follows an owner's commands to the letter. Morgan may have built an unlicensed model, and if so, it would have access to station protocols. I'll take the matter to the board if I have to, but I won't have Morgan's actions place the station in jeopardy. Are you certain of this? If this operator exists, where would it be? If it's shut down or on standby, it could be anywhere. Do I have permission to begin a search? Huh. So I, before I lost my memory, created an operator that has station protocols in it and left it inactive somewhere on the ship? If I could find that and activate it, hooray. Alex, let me make sure that's the latest. Yep. You've made it my duty to keep everyone on this station in good physical condition. The last time I checked, sir, you are a part of everyone on this station. By my count, you've missed the past 5 scheduled fitness tests. If you're uncomfortable with some of the exercises and performing them in front of the crew, I can schedule you time in the fitness center where it's just the 2 of us. Remember, you wouldn't just be doing this to help yourself, but to set an example for the whole staff. Results of Morgan eval. Your sibling is indeed different. I've sent the comparisons to you and Bellamy for evaluation. As you'll see, there is noticeable personality drift, more than I'd expect from heavy neuromod cycling. It's even more prominent because of the duration in which these behavior shifts have developed. As requested, I did not discuss this with Morgan. Interestingly, Morgan seems unaware of these shifts. As an aside, I believe this poses interesting questions for other applications of the neuromod, not solely therapy, but reconditioning. Alright, we did not get a safe code. It's the one thing I was hoping to see in there, but oh well. Let's go for the video. Oh, that's even more of an eyesore. There.
My name is Morgan Yu. Year is 2035. I'm aboard the Talos 1 research facility. What else?
Why are we making this video?
Right. Because my big brother is paranoid. Psychometric data is showing statistically significant variance in personality patterns between trial runs of the new neuromods. Whatever. I feel more like myself than ever. I mean, look at this. We did it, Alex. It's real.
Enjoy it while you can, because in a few minutes, it'll all be gone when we strip out the neuromods and reset.
I know, including my memory of it.
No way around it. Let's talk about the backup.
So, the Typhon organisms have been producing an elaborate structure. Material is unknown, purpose unknown. My gut tells me it's kind of a neural framework, but externalized. Still waiting on analysis to confirm. In the meantime, I've given Alex the design for a device I think could shut it down, if it ever broke containment. Alex just has to grow a pair and commit.
Good evening.
You don't have to take all the credit. What if it doesn't work?
Oh, but I'd
It'll
like
work. Trust me. What else are we going to do? Blow everything up? That won't save us.
And if it does work, is it worth it?
The people that come after us will be smarter, stronger, immortal. They can judge us if they want. But they'll know they exist because of the things we did. I'm ready. Do it.
Awfully far-reaching consequences to this. Oh, shoot. I did not mean to do that. Darn. Good thing that was the very end of the video. Yikes.
There you have it. Everything I've done is what you've asked me to do. I didn't think you'd believe me unless you heard it from your own mouth. The tests, they changed you. Not a lot at first, but eventually, the constant stripping of your memory. I didn't know who you were anymore. All I want is to have my sister back so we can finish what we started. The device you mentioned
I'd like to
is an
believe
advanced
him.
version of the null wave.
At That seems
It's
to be the case.
only way to stop the Typhon without destroying everything we've been working toward. We're just missing some scan data from the coral to complete the design. Help me finish this, Morgan. And then, you can have my arming key. I don't believe you want to use it anymore, but you can have it. I left the chip set for you on my desk. You'll need to upgrade your psychoscope to scan the coral. I'll send you the scan locations.
Okay, interesting. So far, we've only had the one big plan. The only plan we knew about was we cannot let the Typhon get back to Earth from Talos 1. And so we need to destroy the station and the Typhon along with it. But that means me and any other of the lovely survivors we've met along the way, Michaela, Dio Igwe, would also perish, which is a bit of a shame. It sounds like Alex might have a plan B. Coral detector, let's get that in. Modifies the psychoscope to be able to scan coral, and that's like that yellow, wispy stuff that's growing from the aliens, I assume. Alright, let's get rid of one of these. I probably want to keep the detection of hidden mimics, so alright. It's a shame to lose my speed scan. We'll unlock another slot soon, I'm sure. Now we can scan core. So, there was a safe code on that video, but I don't think it's this safe. 5150? I think that was the other safe from like a long time ago. Nice to see it again, but we're gonna have to hack this one. 3 steps. Be a little tricky. But we got plenty of time. Oh. Alright, ESP targeting. Alex use Sweet keycard. A transcribe. Who is December? Search Alex's room for the escape pod key. Huh.
Once things get as bad as I think they probably are.
Hey, Morgan.
Morgan, that video was... I'm still checking it against my directives. But if scanning the coral will grant you access to Alex's arming key, then perhaps it's the best course. Perhaps knowing the coral's purpose will reinforce your decision to destroy Talos 1. Just be careful. We're running out of time.
Maybe it will. Maybe it
Once
will
things
reinforce
get
that
as bad as
decision.
I think they probably are. Your only option is to escape. Get the word out about what's happening on Talos 1. Alex has a private escape pod. It's locked up. I made a copy of the key and hid it on top of the data tower near the chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Listen, there's more at stake this time than just us, or this station. If just one of those creatures made it back home, then we're lost. I keep having this dream. I'm just staring into the black between the stars. There's something there. I know there is. I just can't see it. But it sees me. I can feel it. Hate us. I know you know what I'm talking about. Or you will soon.
Interesting. So for whatever reason, Morgan, she's left these aspects of her personality, like January, and I'm assuming December even is also an aspect of her personality. There's his escape pod. Wow. Thanks for that extended bridge. It seems like that would be a dangerous thing to mess around with, but we will go up there and take a look. What was I saying, though? So sorry, I've derailed myself. Just that Morgan seems to have left aspects of her personality with a plan in place that seemingly was her own making, which has been to destroy the station. Like everything January has led me towards seems to be, no, it's not safe, we have to take the Typhon out before they get to Earth, you have to blow up the station. Alex used tracking bracelet. Interesting. Also an O2 tank, so he may have gone out. But he didn't take the escape pod. And some of his waste, presumably good. I'll keep that in my pocket. Alright. I'm gonna make another save here, because I don't want to mess with this. I think we're fine in terms of progression. We can overwrite the save we made before we spoke to Alex. That seemed just fine. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't the end of the game, mostly. So, with a good save intact, you would need the key card to EP-101. So, even though he had that message about it, let me go back and refresh my memory. Missing keycard. Neuromod division on top of a computer cabinet. Yeah. So he must not have had time to go get it, or maybe he did, I don't know, but we should be able to look for it in Neuromod division. And then the other thing I'm not entirely sure of is what Morgan was just saying about it's by a chair in the data tower. You know the one. I don't know the one, but we'll go find it. Alright, give me just 1 second here. I'll be right back. Try to give you a better view of the moon as I leave. Alright, 1 moment. Alright, freshly hydrated. So sorry. Let me take a sip real quick. I should have done that before I unmuted. That would have been the way to do it. So it does sound like the escape pod there. I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to make of that. We may use it to, like, rescue someone later. If we end up having to blow up the station, maybe we could get some of the survivors into Alex's escape pod first, and then I can stay behind and blow it. I'm not sure if that's what it's for, but we'll keep it in mind. So we have to scan the coral. That's fine. In the exterior, specifically, search Alex's room for the escape pod key in crew quarters. That's not too far away, actually. I'm a little bit curious to run after that. Just so if we do end up needing to rescue someone with the escape pod, we'll have the key. It should be pretty clear in here now, clear of weavers. Though I never did find that second one that ran off. Alright, quick march back to crew quarters, and then we'll probably be just about done. We're coming up on 2 hours here. I do appreciate all of your time. I am loving this game, and I'm really excited to actually have it under our belt here. Completed. Alright, Alex's room. Kinda seems like it must be an executive suites. And that would make sense. Technopath. You silly. Sorry, Nicole. Still bits of Nicole scattered in the hallway. What a shame. TrainStar rewards. Neuromods and bonuses. I don't care. Neuromods. Now that's something I care about. Starbender Cycle Book 6. The three sons of Bel Kellar were melting into one another in the sky, twisted in their death throes as the dark star anomaly devoured them with disconcerting alacrity. Trevor had managed to navigate the deadly debris whirling around the anomaly and crash land Empress Tourmaline's Royal Raptor cruiser at the base of Mount Mule, the synthetic geopyramid which they were now surmounting. They stood, panting and pantsing, besides a synth stone altar, its receptacle pulsing with crimson light. "One minor detail I left out, Trevor," the Empress said. I'm sorry. "One minor detail I left out, Trevor," the Empress said between labored breaths. "No, I'll take it back. We put this into the altar and it devours the anomaly, taking us with it in the process," Trevor replied, a wink in his grim smile. "You knew the whole time?" Trevor wrapped his fingers around hers, both of them now holding the Starbender prism. "I was born for this," Trevor replied, and he pushed the prism into the altar. Oh, this book's getting serious. It started out all lighthearted and sexy, but now it's just tragedy all the time. It's just like Lost in that way. What a nice family. Anyway. That was rude. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be mad at you. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be mad at Alex still. But I am. Because he played lies with me. He played the game of deception. So, greater. Are you? Prove it. I've been in here for so long, peeking around his room for so long. That's gonna start a friction fire pretty soon. That's not good at all. Alright, let's get a few rounds in. Hey, there we go. I made it too far. No, I'm stuck. Oh no. Oh yeah, that really gets the blood pumping. I know what Empress Tourmaline was laboring her breaths for. Oh my god. Just in case. I mean, it never hurts to flush. Let's be honest. So where is that keycard, you son of a... You son of my parents from that photo over there. Alex's room, sure. And then the keycard would be... A little caviar for later. To celebrate with. What are these, shirts? Not any long. Get out of here. I don't know where he would be keeping his keycard. I guess I'll hack in here. Maybe he's got one of those fancy safes behind a picture. I cannot find any camera footage of Chief Illusion leaving Morgan's quarters. It either does not exist, or it has been deleted. When questioned, Morgan said it was an engineering matter and does not want it filed with Human Resources. If you want to know more, I suggest you speak to Morgan directly. I will follow up with Chief Illusion as ordered. And the follow-up. In speaking to Chief Illusion, she admitted the visit concerned a medical matter and requested the visit not be misconstrued. Upon your orders, I reminded her again if there has been any change in her relations with Morgan Yu, she would need to notify HR. I consider the matter closed and would prefer such inquiries to be left off my duty roster in the future. Having so much station security to worry about, you know, would be nice. So, key card. We're gonna have words when I find you. Oh, you and I. Start smacking posters. Dropping his shoes everywhere. Maybe it's on the back of this. Nope. Sure isn't. He didn't seem to be keeping it in his treadmill. We searched that pretty thoroughly. Is this the secret poster? Your secret poster of Cubans. I understand. Little caviar, little vodka, why not? It's good. It's good for, you know, the Constitution. Oh, I might as well fill up. Who am I trying to stay thin for?
I don't want to alarm you, but there's been a launch from the Argus platform. The board of directors has caught wind of the situation here. I suppose it was inevitable despite my efforts. That's why it's important we act quickly, decisively. They'll try to take this out of our hands, Morgan.
Should they? Is that... You mean someone's coming to rescue us? Or someone's coming to kill us? Without the rescue part, because... I don't know where the keycard is. I'm gonna check behind this mirror. Didn't seem to be there. There. The last thing I search, of course. Alright, ransacked our brother's room, just like old times. Escape Talos 1, so it's like it's not for rescuing other people, it's you can just get in the escape pod and run for it. That's a hilarious option that I find to be very selfish and morally questionable. But I love it. Let's just run back up to the escape pod here. We'll see if that's the case. We will not escape and leave Dio Igwe to die. What a jerk. But then we'll see what the scoop is. Escape Talos 1 now without resolving any of the situations seems like a bad way to do this. Oh yeah, Earth is dead. Everyone on the station is dead. My brother, my family. But I have this escape pod, and I'm living a sweet life in the emptiness of space. Weird ending, but that is probably very human. If you were stuck on a space station with terrible, deadly aliens, and you were the only one doing anything about it, I'd just want to leave, too. It's so odd that I say that, because you're going to be ransacking your brother's room later. Oh no. Vengeance. Alright, I want to save this again. Make sure we don't make any oopsie daisies. I've just picked a whole bouquet. So with the key card, let me make absolutely sure that that worked. Yeah, no, that seems right. I don't want this to make any
Morgan,
decisions.
don't.
I just want to
I'm
peek.
only a shallow copy of you, and I know better than to abandon Talos 1. If you leave now, you're only delaying the inevitable. Where do you think the
Oh, yeah.
Typhon will go next?
Oh, definitely to Earth. Or maybe the moon first for a quick snack, but then definitely Earth. So, no, I get you. I get you, January. But also, I'm too scared to stay. Goodbye forever. No. So, ensure the pod doors are sealed. All personnel are on board. That's the key. Take a seat. Secure those safety harnesses. How's it feel? Safe? Good. Remain seated and wait until the vessel has come to a complete stop. Alright. So yeah, at the moment, the idea seems to be, hooray, I'm gonna escape in this and leave everyone to die. Not going to choose to do that. Maybe we can save someone else's life with it later. I would love to do that. Alright. This may be a pretty good stopping point. However, let's set our next objective for our next session first. Scan the coral in the exterior. That's probably going to be it. Alright, I don't want to escape. Deselect that. I do want to kill the imposter cook. And we do need to run back to the lobby at some point just to talk to Michaela and Gustav. In fact, this might not be a bad time. As silly as it is for me to continue extending this. Ah, I missed the balcony. My legs. Oh, my legs. No, I think it's fine. Alright, Talos 1 lobby. That's this way, right? Let's just see if we can talk to them real quick before we end the session. I want to make sure they're alive and well after we left them in such disarray. Do you remain seated or sated? Both, yes. Please, make use of the escape pod minibar to sate your hunger. Sate your lust for crackers. Mimic? Is that you? Oh no! Why do I never check the doors for traps? It's just like I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons all over again. It's exactly like I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. Alright, let's just get some suit integrity and some shame juice pumped into me. I saw it, like, just before it turned red, just before it activated as a bad, bad thing. I was like, oh, that's a trap. Okay, to the lobby. So nice to have use of this main elevator shaft again. I think this is the first time. It would have made a lot of our trips around the Talos exterior a little bit quicker. So glad everything went well, and thanks for stopping by. See you later there, Locke. Okay, telepath. Big old telepath, and some cystoids. That's unfortunate. Dio? Let me set one of them so we know where they are, which level they're on. Why not both? Alright. It doesn't tell me. Well, I guess they're just both in my office on the 3rd floor then? I'm supposed to beat her there. Okay, I'll just go to my office. The coral is getting much worse in here. Oh, much worse. So I either have to go around to that side to get into the entrance, I forgot,
Good
or I
evening,
can use
Talos.
my little...
Mr. Tucker from HR would
blue
like
bits
to
from
remind
later.
you that if your personal data has changed since the
This is a
previous
little
pay
more of a
cycle,
parkour
please contact
situation.
him
Let's just go around.
immediately. Mr. Tucker's office is on the 2nd floor of the lobby.
Nobody wants to get all calloused, climbing glue. No, take the stairs.
Tell me again how the Morgan,
Yay!
hope you don't mind.
So
I was
glad
using
you
your
guys lived.
workstation.
I found the right materials
I
for
don't
the
mind.
glue gun as well. Was able to make
yourselves at
several
home.
canisters.
I also found some food
Why'd
on
you
the way
say
out.
it like that?
Left it on the desk. Don't worry, they're alien-proof. I checked them, no twitching. To be sure, I
Thank
let
you.
Igwe sample
I'm
them
gonna
first.
check again, just in case.
Pardon me?
Oh, Igwe
I'm
sample?
joking, Igwe. I wouldn't willingly expose you to aliens or anyone else. That would be inhuman.
Oh, Michaela. You and your
Thank you.
jokes.
It's a strange
Here's your
feeling.
music.
I hold Leitner's gift to the world in my hands. He will live on.
Oh, I,
I wish my wife could have heard him play again.
Leitner's
That was
Connectome.
brave of you. To recover the connectomes for me, I appreciate it. I appreciate all you and Transtar have done for me.
That's just what I needed to hear. Thank you. Thank you, Dio. I love you. No, that's not what I want to get rid of. I need my anti-radiation medicine. Please, please. Hold X. There you go. This is a much better place to leave it. With our friends, alive and well, in my safe office. How's it going,
I
Michaela?
never told you why I altered my medical records. I know you were
don't have
so
to. I
sure
mean,
when you were
it's private.
lecturing me, Morgan, saying I was selfish and... My father, he was imprisoned for questioning the Soviet intervention in India. Many prisoners are lost in Siberian labor camps, but my father vanished. The only thing I knew for certain was Transtar was recruiting volunteers from those labor camps. I came here because of you and Alex and your experiments. To find him, and now I know he was here. I noticed on your computer.
Oh, did I
You found a
mark that?
set of names
Oh,
and
shoot.
ID numbers from Psychotronics, from Dr. Gallegos. The Russian volunteers were never referenced by name, but I was able to match an ID to my father. We can pull up his records, archived experiment logs. I've already asked a great deal of you, but if you could find that archive in deep storage, I'll finally know
course.
what happened to my father.
Oh, our loading
His name
times
was
will allow
Yuri
for that.
Andronov,
Yuri
V01065532.
Andronov. I will be happy to look for him.
Why Russia? Why Russian volunteers?
Well, the Russian penal system is quite unforgiving, and their alliance with the Transtar interest economically coincided. It was Catherine Yu's idea, their mother, and Alex saw the advantages.
So, they were murdered because of
Sorry.
political convenience and cost savings?
The term murder
Hey,
I
January.
would dispute, but I do not wish to lie to you. These two factors made them good candidates for the research development here. It is far easier to persuade a man to volunteer for experimental trials when his other prospects include capital punishment or life in prison.
I would dispute the term volunteer, Doctor.
She got you. She got you with your own logic. Dio, you're gonna have to plan ahead next time.
I've been trying to see what I can access from here, but most of the systems are locked down.
Morgan,
You've been trapped in a simulation for 3 weeks. Normally, the tests are only a few days long.
That
The
can't be
discoveries
healthy.
made aboard Talos 1 seem to validate some form of panpsychism. Consciousness is a fundamental force that exists
Yes.
everywhere to one degree or another.
Where are
So
you?
It's plausible, then, that an organism evolved which is able to metabolize complex forms of consciousness.
what are you saying? They eat other minds?
Yes.
It was an established process.
Igwe, but you knew what was in Psychotronics. What was going on in Psychotronics?
Well, yes, they volunteered.
Volunteers? They didn't agree to be killed.
They live on, Miss Illusion. They all do. Their skills, their talents, their achievements. Yet now, they can do so much more. Much like parents passing along their experiences to their children.
Are you serious? Have you ever... Do you even know what it means to have children, Iwe?
Pardon me? What do you mean?
Do you know about
I
the
will
birds
do
and the bees, Igwe?
Everything in my power to expose what you've done here. What you all did. Say another word, and I swear I will shoot you.
Things are getting a little tense here in the sanctuary. Let's everyone just try not to commit any more war crimes.
Any luck finding a
we'll
way
go
off the
from there.
station?
Let's start with
Morgan?
not committing any more war crimes, and then we'll try to just be better people together. Okay? No shooting until after we've not committed the war crimes. So
I don't
I'm gonna leave you two
understand.
alone now. You be good. Things are getting complex politically up on the station, and people have every right to be upset. Let's just try to save some lives, guys. We'll deal with it later. When we get back, to Earth, we'll start the trials. So, deep storage, that is a new side quest. Great. We have a couple of other things to find in there, so maybe we can start off on that. Starting towards deep storage next time before we hit the coral in the Talos exterior. We'll try to scan and learn about that as well. And that will lead us on to our decision we're seeming to be pushed towards here. Do we destroy the station and stop the threat? Or do we continue to try to find another way around it as we are wildly running out of time? Also, the basement floor of the lobby is covered in guys, which I'm going to have to kill. Not looking forward to that. But that's for next times, Peter. I appreciate all of your many minutes so far in getting to this point. It has been such a pleasure to adventure with you. I should be back around sometime soonish, tomorrow at the very least, hopefully to do episode 6 or chapter 6 or whatever you want to call it of Alan Wake Remastered. And then we'll be getting close to finishing that. We'll have a couple of special episodes to finish off as well. But I'm procrastinating on that because I love Alan Wake and I don't want it to be over. And I'm already on episode 6 and it's going to be over. We'll deal with that together when we come to it as well. It's all about friendship and moons, mostly. Mostly about friendship and moons. I love you guys. I hope you're having an alright Tuesday. And I will see you soon for a little fight against the darkness and the Taken with our dear friend. Thank you for your patience. Bye for now. I'm still here. I never left. I didn't press the right button, but now I'm gonna try again.